Welcome to another episode of Speculation Sunday. Today we got a lot to talk about from Disneyland, Universal Studios Hollywood, and Knott's Scary Farm. We got Just Ask Danny in the house. How you doing, Danny?
Hey, Mondo. Good. Glad to be back. Lots to talk about today.
Lots to talk about indeed. So, lots of things have come this week at Disneyland Resort. Most importantly, Knott's Scary Farm finally kicked off. And Halloween Horror Nights just trucking right along with the crazy crowds happening over there. We're going to talk about it all today. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for joining us on this beautiful Sunday. Do not forget to smash that like button. And I want to give a big congratulations to the Big Avocado. She was the winner of the Candy Corn Sipper. And this was only for the Five Fire members. I like doing giveaways whenever I have a chance to all the members and everybody that supports the channel. So I just want to give a big thank you to all the Five Fire community, the Five Fire members. Your kindness means so much. I do want to start off with a Q&A from everybody. But before we do that, I want to say, where you been, Danny? How's everything going? Because I feel like you got a big journey ahead of you as well.
Yeah, so, we had a delay for D23 Expo, obviously. And then last week, I don't even know what happened last week. I was somewhere.
No,
I was
Oogie
at
Boogie,
Oogie Boogie Bash.
HHN.
Yeah,
We got a lot to talk about. That's what I was saying. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, Oogie Boogie Bash, HHN. And then, I was able to make this week. And then next weekend, I actually won't be here either because I'll be at Walt Disney World flying into the hurricane. So,
yeah, so we got to give Danny a freaking 5 fires of good luck that nothing crazy happens on the way over there to Florida. Yay! They said, "Yay, Danny! Audio sounds great. No lagging." So I want to start off with the Q&A. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's start off with that before we go into anything we want to talk about. And we are going to talk about all 3 theme parks today. I saw somebody earlier. Where did it go? Let me see. We got Bill. Oh, he says, what do you think about this year's Halloween Horror Nights? Danny, give us your impressions because we haven't heard your comments on Halloween Horror Nights. What do you think?
I loved Halloween Horror Nights. I have 0 complaints from this year's Halloween Horror Nights. My biggest complaint last year was the scare zone that they had when you first walked in. I didn't really feel like the Demon City setup that they had really set the tone. And this year they have the freak show or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
On the upper lot right when you walk in where the fire tower's at, and everything about that scare zone is perfect. I mean, the clowns with the chainsaws and the other people just walking around, it creates the chaos that you want to set up the event, and it's like the perfect thing. And then every maze, I don't really have a complaint with any of them, with the exception of Blumhouse. I thought that was kind of weird that they made it too. Like, Freaky's such a cool campy movie, and they spent most of the maze talking about the storyline of Freaky and showing you kind of things about it. If you didn't watch the movie, a lot of the scenes that you were seeing didn't make sense, like why they had the knife or what the knife did or anything like that. But then when you walk in and all of a sudden it changes to Black Phone, it's just like 3 scenes of Black Phone and then you're out of the maze, and it's just like, well, did we really need to have Black Phone, or could we have done more for Freaky? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
what were your your top 3, just off the top of your head, top 3 mazes?
number 1 for sure was Scarecrow, hands down. So good. I did not expect it to get pooped on in the maze. and then the Killer Clowns, number 2 for sure. I love Killer Clowns, and I was actually more scared by Clownzilla this time than I was before.
Yeah, it got me once, actually. It got me too.
Yeah, and then I would say number 3 is probably Universal Monsters. Like, I felt like it just hit really hard and in all the right spaces, and with that triple scare at the end, it was one of the best mazes I've had scare-wise.
I love Legends Collide. Martin Scott says Magicbands. Danny actually has a Magicband. Can you tell us a little bit about what features come with it when you're like trying to set it up?
Yeah, so I'm going to Disney World tomorrow, literally. So I have my Magicband Plus already. But when you're setting it up, you essentially just make sure it's charged. Then you're going to pair it to your phone using the Disney. Well, when if you're doing Disney World, you use a Disney World app. If you're doing Disneyland, you do the Disneyland app. Once that's enabled, come fall. But what we know so far about what Disneyland's getting, there's not super a lot of like stuff that's being enabled right away, but I would say it is convenient to enter the park using your Magicband, so you don't have to like load up your app and kind of have all that stuff going. I'm hoping eventually they'll have some sort of way of doing our discounts when they're doing table service or shopping or dining with the Magicband. But right now at Disneyland, it's just going to be getting in and out of the park, redeeming your lightning lanes, photo pass locations, and then as well as interactivity during special areas and shows. So you'll have interactivity in Batu with the Batu Bounty Hunters game when that opens. Mondo, we talked about it before on Speculation Sunday. I had an opportunity to chat with the Imagineers in the D23 Pavilion. They said that Magicband interactivity was coming to Toontown, so you can use it there. And we know that you'll use it in Batu. So, who else? Who knows where else it might come? Maybe it comes to Tarzan's Treehouse. Maybe it gets put into other things later on. We just don't know.
Danny, are you ready to go like this?
I know.
To do all the statues and hopefully you hear the noise they make, the audio.
Yeah. And then the last way you can use it at Disneyland will be with like World of Color, Fireworks Spectaculars, and I believe Fantasmic. And that's it for now. You can't use them at the hotels, but I would imagine that's going to change once the new tower opens at the Disneyland Hotel. And it's a matter of like trying to get the right infrastructure in place, right? They've got all the touch pads on all the doors at the Disneyland Resort to implement something like this. The problem is that Disney World had this issue when the Magicbands first came out. Is like the touchpad, if it's like flat on the door, and you're trying to like touch your Magicband on it, you're like awkwardly trying to like put your wrist to like fit it against the door because it's like flush with the door, right?
Yeah.
And so that's how the Disneyland ones are. And so Disney World has the pads on like a riser that's like this thick.
Yeah,
so they
that's
stick
true.
out. Yeah, so they stick out from the door so that you can just bloop, tab right on it. But I'm sure they have to just figure out when to install all those, and eventually, because there's no reason why they wouldn't do hotels at Disneyland. It's just
it's a must. The Magic Bands are for hotel guests. They're not even for regular day guests. They're for hotel guests. That's like their emphasis. We got Kate. Please talk about your Hulk experience. I have multiple days ahead, or multiple days, and have not been able to catch him yet. What do you recommend? When do you recommend meeting him? So I got to meet him at 10:45, and then I could have sworn it was like 12:30 or 12:40, somewhere in that range. Let me play the video. I want to play this for everybody. Let's check it out.
Oh, so Iron Man was a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna come out. This is very accurate of how it is. There's no times for him. But...
Okay, Tony, I'm in one piece. Monitor for threats, and I'll do some recon.
I'd say you're safe.
Hello, hi there. Tony, did you just quantum travel me 20 feet down the hall?
Yeah.
What a staggering waste of resources.
But hilarious. And hey, now you can meet some fans.
Now that's a mission I like. Okay, I'm gonna hang out for a while, and Tony, I can walk back in by myself.
And we're all very proud of you. Okay, have fun, you guys.
Of course we will. Hey, hi there. Hello.
This is so cool. I like this meet and greet way better. Just
We're doing.
so, Daddy, what are your thoughts on all this, man?
I mean, at D23 Expo, they told us that it was going to be a really limited run, right? And I think for the first time out, they're trying to figure it out. They're testing, seeing how it's done. I like that the way they did it. They still gave you some interactivity. They had the little microphone so that he can hear what you're saying. And then they have the other characters interacting with them. I saw later on, the Black Widow came out. I think that's pretty cool. So I think first implementation, he looks like what I expected. But I'm hoping the next iteration, like there's a little more movement and fluidity, because when they were showing us Project EXO, they showed us like so much fluid movements in the arms and in the fingers when they us in the D23 Expo, and when they showed you with the sample of it at Destination D23, where the guy's kind of like sticking out of it. That one seemed pretty fluid, right? When you saw that one on stage?
That iteration of the exosuit in Destination D23 in Florida was like 5 times more mobile than this thing right here. It was this is almost like if Wreck-It Ralph got an upgrade, but still not the best. Because like I feel like the only big character I've ever seen from Disney was Wreck-It Ralph. And I guess Baymax, you could say, is kind of a big character, but for the most part, it's been Wreck-It Ralph. I really feel in person it's pretty cool. I have no like negative feeling or anything towards that Hulk suit. I thought they did a great job. What I saw them originally implement was they actually tried to do Hulk as a meet and greet. And that means that Hulk would essentially have a long line, and you would do your interaction with Hulk, take your picture, then move on. And it just kept going. And if I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn they had a photo pass in the beginning. But the second time Hulk came out, and I'm talking about opening day. I don't know if things have changed since then. They made it where they went to social distancing meet and greet, where Hulk was just there and everybody kind of like surrounds him, does their selfies, moves on with their day. And I think the social I'm going to call it the social distance meet and greet works really good for Hulk, because you come get your selfie, whatever you want to do, and move on with your day. Because for the most part, Hulk ended up with like a humongous line. And I like it when Disney switches up the social distance meet and greet. I feel like it was a great implementation for Hulk. I don't know if Hulk is still demanding big crowds as of today, but on opening day, he was like the hottest thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's worth mentioning that, large characters like this aren't, this isn't the first time we're seeing this. I think what Project EXO needs to show is that it's different, right? Because we have a character that's even taller, or if not as tall, over at Universal with Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. So characters that are that large, that interact with and talk with guests, are pretty normal over there, and have been for quite a long time.
I feel like 5 years at least.
Yeah. So they've been doing it for a while in Universal, but Project EXO was like promised as being like a little bit more lifelike. So, and there is a lot of lifelike movement in the Hulk, in the way that he looks. Obviously, the Transformers at Universal, it's a little bit easier to get away with a larger costume with a Transformer, because you can kind of add on stuff and it looks normal. But with Hulk, they have to make him look like just a person standing there in like a big suit like that. So there is some differences there. I'd say as a first test, I agree with you. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Um, I do like that they had a speaker for Hulk to talk, but I really feel like they should have just had Hulk be not pre-recorded. I feel like Disney keeps falling on the pre-recorded stuff, and I feel like they need to move on. I feel like Disney moved on from like the head characters, like a Mickey Mouse and stuff like that, where we've seen the most fluent one is Ernesto de la Cruz, who could talk to you. He's even pre-recorded, but his mouth moves and everything. The best iteration of a face character is Sid. He was the best, literally Sid in real life. I feel like they could have just done Hulk. Doesn't move his mouth. You could see his face, and he could have talked. The same technology that we see with Optimus Prime or Megatron at Universal. So I was really surprised that they did that, where they just went with pre-recorded. One of the biggest, like one of the common things I kept hearing Hulk say is like say green. So it's like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes as time goes on. I thought it was really cool. It was awesome to see that suit in real life. And I can't wait to see what other big characters are going to come to life. With, I think it's Werewolf also is going to introduce a really big character too. So I don't know if they'll bring something like that to life. We got Darwin with 14 months of membership. What's up, Darren? Sorry about that. We got Darren. Happy Sunday. So grateful to be part of the family over a year. Dude, seriously, thank you. 5 stars, Darren. Let's go. Appreciate your kindness so much. Seriously, Darren. Dude, freaking 14 months. Thank you, man. Hell yeah. Let's see. But thank you. Let's see. They said get Lou Ferrigno on the phone from Kimberly Moore. Mama Cat says if Optimus Prime and Megatron can talk with character voice, Disney can do it too. Yeah, Disney falls hard on the pre-recorded stuff when it comes down to Marvel. I kind of wish the Avengers headquarters, like the stunt show, would also be not pre-recorded, similar to what we see at Waterworld, where they actually talk.
I never had a chance to meet with Mr. Knight. I saw Moon Knight, but I never saw Mr. Knight. Was he pre-recorded?
No, he actually talked to you. That was actually cool. He talked to you. I don't know why Mr. Knight's just not out there always. Somebody earlier in the comments asked, they wonder if Florida or if Paris is going to get the big Hulk. I'm going to have to say no. They'll get big Hulk after California finishes with big Hulk, whenever that'll be. I wonder how the updates have been over there. Did they get Mighty Thor? I don't even know. I don't keep up with Paris, so it's like,
I don't know which characters they've been getting.
Yeah, I know they debuted with like the main ones that we have here. All right. I don't see any other questions. Let me see. Let me make sure. What's up, Isabel? Victor says, when is the Calico Mind Ride video going to be uploaded? I really want to watch it. So I filmed it, but I had a horrible spot where I couldn't see the changes with the projections they did. So I'm going to refilm it. But hopefully soon. All right. Let's do this. Yeah, Mr. Knight wasn't pre-recorded. He could actually talk. They did get Mighty Thor in Paris. Wow, that's cool. I have no idea. I don't keep up with Paris, so that's all new to me. All right, I want to start off today with a complete random subject that I didn't even think I was going to be talking about, but it's Nickelodeon Hotel coming to Garden Grove. So I did a video earlier on this, and I have to talk about it here on Speculation Sunday. This hotel is a Nickelodeon water park amusement. They're going to have a theater in there, arcade room, all sorts of amenities and restaurants, all related to Nickelodeon. I know that they have this in Mexico, and they have another location in a different country. But the fact that this is coming to essentially right next to Disneyland, I'm shocked. I had no idea that this even got approved, but it has. The city of Garden Grove has worked big time to making this happen. My first question I ask, where you at, Disneyland? How could Disneyland not have been eyeing this land just as much as anybody? I know it's like 5 to 7 minutes from the Disneyland Resort, but Walt Disney World, there's hella far on property per se, like all throughout, where you're not really close to the theme parks. But whatever. Nickelodeon is the clear winner here. And this is going to be 23 stories tall, Danny. What is your first thoughts when you even like hear this news?
It's in a great location. For those that don't know, it's located right next to that Harbor Boulevard Target where all the other convention hotels are at. So there's like another big Sheraton hotel here. There's some Marriott hotels. They're right around the corner from the Anaheim Convention Center. And this is like a pretty big spot. It's like Chapman and Harbor Boulevard. You're just kind of a maybe 15-20 minute walk from Disneyland if you want to walk it, or hopefully the Nickelodeon hotel will have some shuttles, but it's in a pretty close location. And if it's going to have like a water park, I would say I went to the Great Wolf Lodge, which is just down the street from this hotel.
Yeah, that's where the real competition is. The Great Wolf Lodge is like, whoa, Nickelodeon, where are you guys coming from here?
Exactly, and the Great Wolf Lodge is always crowded. There's always people in there, so we have to see how hard like they're gonna come with this park, like what they're gonna have in there. But like definitely that pulls some business away from Disney, especially since Disneyland they don't have a water park to offer. So the Great Wolf Lodge was a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun in there. So and kids can spend multiple days in there. And it doesn't matter what's in there as far as like weather on the outside, because Great Wolf Lodge is all on the inside. And this
the weather's irrelevant. We got a water park 24/7, baby.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about like getting sunburned or having rain, whatever.
And what I was thinking when I first see this project right here, This is gonna like add another day to many people's trips when it comes down to Disneyland. I feel like you don't want to miss out on this. I don't really feel like Disneyland has a hotel that like super targets kids. This is for kids, absolutely for kids. Everything about this hotel and resort is like family friendly. Everything. We got Peter in the chat. My theory: City of Anaheim wants the diversify beyond Disney. They don't want to have one company have so much control on local. They are trying to lure other companies. I agree. And you know what? Kind of full circles right here, Danny, is when they pulled SpongeBob from Universal. And this is why. This has to be why. Because I'm pretty sure Universal would have been like, hey, we dropping a hotel over there. What do you think about all that?
Yeah, I mean this isn't the city of Anaheim. This is Garden Grove, but it's kind of the same thing. Yeah, they're trying to compete and have their own tourism stuff, but it's really just down the street from Disney. Great Wolf Lodge is in Garden Grove, and Anaheim is like literally a signal light away. So it's like not really that big of a deal, but it's providing competition. For someone that might have spent an extra day at Disney and spent their money there, now maybe they'll, extend their day by 2 more days and go over to Nickelodeon Hotel. Maybe they'll go to Great Wolf Lodge. So there's some great options right down the street for families. And it makes sense, Nickelodeon, SpongeBob, all that. They're not NBC properties. They're Paramount properties. So,
Dude, it's crazy. Just crazy to see that Paramount's just
we had a couple people ask what the characters that will be featured. You had something in the article that mentioned that. What's besides SpongeBob, what else are they going to show in there?
There's not in the article they didn't specify anything character-wise, but when I go to their website, they had Ninja Turtles, SpongeBob, Paw Patrol. And it listed just 20 characters. I couldn't tell you what they are. It didn't have a listing of them. But whatever's Nickelodeon. Let me look. I'm curious to see like what comes up when I put top 10 Nickelodeon characters. I'm just curious who top 10 is. Top 10 best Nickelodeon characters. SpongeBob SquarePants at number 1. Patrick Star number 2. Prince Zuko. Not too familiar with that. Arnold. We have Zim. We also have Danny Fenton. I think I'm saying that right. Timmy Turner. Oh my God. Squidward Tentacles. Hey, Squidward needs to come back, bro. He was going viral at the end over there at Universal. And then Aang. Holy son. Nickelodeon has plethora of characters that Jimmy Neutron. Yeah, it's just the list goes on. But I feel like it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool to see these Nickelodeon characters, and it looked like, or one of the big things too, they were gonna have like a 600-seat theater. I have no idea why they need a big theater like that, but I'm interested to see. Does Nickelodeon still have programming that's coming to life in these days? I'm not in the know with Nickelodeon like that, so maybe they debut some of their streaming stuff in there. That would be cool.
Yeah, or maybe it's a live show theater for like stage shows.
That too, dude. Oh my gosh, crazy. We got a super chat. Christopher Spectrum reporting Anaheim rep saying Disney will move through the Disneyland Forward processing starting in 2023, not canceled. I want to say I don't want to even get my hopes up at all for Disneyland Forward. D23 was the perfect place to just hint Disneyland Forward, or maybe give like expected announcement of anything, and we got nothing. So I don't even want to get excited for Disneyland Forward. I think before we get Disneyland Forward talk, we need to have Avengers, that e-ticket ride talk. Does Toontown finish on time? I don't know. There's lots of stuff still in play. Tomorrowland. Do we get Tomorrowland anything? Does Fantasyland expand at Disneyland? You know, there's a lot of talk, but I don't know. I can't get excited for Disneyland Forward. Big Avocado says, I would be surprised if they do Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards at their new theater. Would be great marketing move for the hotel. Oh my God. You know what I keep saying? The ace in the card for Universal, if they could just figure it out, is a Harry Potter hotel. Wherever the hell they drop a Harry Potter hotel anywhere in California, it's going to be such a sought out after attraction. Especially if they could implement restaurant, live theater show, merch. It would just be insane. It'd be insane. But it's interesting to see that Disney won't be really like the big powerhouse, like the only big powerhouse. Now we have the Great Wolf Lodge. We're gonna have this new Nickelodeon hotel, which is set to open not until 2027, so it's not anytime soon. But we'll see what other things come to life. We got Ketra in the chat. She says, I wish they made a Nickelodeon hotel for millennials. With all the good Nick shows from the 90s, like Clarissa Explains It All, and Are You Afraid of the Dark? You never know. You never know. Maybe they do it. Yeah, Nickelodeon Nostalgia Hotel. That's what I'm talking about. We got a super chat. I like TV9. He says, I like TV9 says, wait, what? Mondo doesn't watch Avatar: The Last Airbender? Get on that. So I have always been very intimidated by Avatar: The Last Airbender because I don't even know how many seasons and episodes there are. Same thing with Naruto. I just don't have the time. I really wish I did. Did you ever get into Avatar, Danny?
Oh my God, yeah. Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've watched it through probably like 5 times.
Dude, hey, I'm like that with The Office. I've seen Office too many damn times, like full through all the seasons. But maybe I get on the Avatar one of these days. I'll watch it with Sonic. But thank you. I like TV9. Yvette says, Disneyland Forward can't be talked about in public until it's set in stone with local government. It's not like them building a ride in existing land. Sheesh. Do you think Nickelodeon Hotel coming into play now, does Disney get urged to drop a Galactic Star Cruiser here in Southern California? Is there more push for that, you think, Danny? I keep saying it. The dirt field in downtown Disney is going to be a Galactic Star Cruiser. Just watch. Just watch. I feel it, dude. What do you think, Daddy? Do you think Disney urges for a Galactic Star Cruiser here?
I think they do want it here eventually. I just don't know right now where it would be. But I know that Disneyland Forward really isn't much. You know what I mean? It's just a way for Disneyland to move forward in the next 30 years, because right now there is no way for them to move forward in the next 30 years. So we're not going to see any real projects come out of Disneyland Forward, at least right away. And I think that's the biggest misconception based on how people talk about it all the time. It's just really letting, like, we just have to see if whether or not, all we're waiting for really is just the city being like, yeah, you can do it, and here's how you can do it, and here's the limitations that you have. And then once we know that, then we can speculate, like, moving forward, what might come in these places. So, but I don't expect anything to happen in any of the places that they proposed anytime soon. So.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, because you cannot tell me that Galaxy's Edge did not come with Galactic Star Cruiser. I feel like they're so pivotal to each other. It's almost like they're connected. They have to be connected. This whole concept of this halcyon that travels you to Batuu, and then you go back to the halcyon and finish the storyline of this make-believe story they created. It's the whole storyline concept of Galaxy's Edge. To make it come to life, you need the Galactic Star Cruiser. One thing I was talking earlier with my buddy Hector, which is Villain. I just want to revert to this because I said I would bring it up today. How the hell don't we have 3 Spider-Mans in Avenger Campus? I'm just going to leave that one there. We don't have to even go on it. But how the hell is there not 3 Spider-Mans in Avenger Campus? We got Melissa Salinas with 16 months of membership. Melissa says, hi, Mondo. Danny, what's up, Melissa? Today is my daughter's Alyssa's 23rd birthday. Oh, my Lanta. Happy birthday, Alyssa. We are celebrating and enjoying Speculation Sunday. Thanks for sharing the day with. Hey, I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful birthday.
Happy
Alyssa,
birthday.
23. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let me see. We got Agent X. Any tips for HHN? So, Danny, you went on a Saturday. Is there any tips that you got that you could recommend? Because you went on, like, obviously the busiest day of the week, dude. I know you had Express, but is there anything that you got out of, like, your plan of attack, how you did things?
Yes. It's a little bit more bougie, right? But you got to do HHN Express, like, and here's how we did it, right? We got there at the time they would normally just let you in for early entry, and we didn't do that. We went to Antojitos. We sat down. We had a full dinner, so that we're not having to spend the time to eat at all during HHN, because those lines are unnecessarily long, and you don't want to waste your time doing that. So we went in, took our time, watched these gigantic crowds walk past us while we were in Antojitos, going into HHN, waiting in these massive lines that literally came all the way out to Antojitos, and they were stopped there. We just enjoyed some drinks, some food, and then a little bit after the event actually started, we headed on in, and with no wait, except for maybe a few people at the bag check. And then with Express, you're able to just walk right into all the mazes. And the longest we waited was 10 to 15 minutes for Scarecrow. And every other Express maze was 5 minutes or less.
We're absolutely worth every dollar. And on a Saturday, when even at midnight, there's many things that like over an hour wait easily.
Yeah, but I
Easily.
would absolutely recommend, even if you're not going to do express, I would recommend coming early for early entry. And even just coming in early, even if you aren't to do early entry, just to like, come visit City Walk for a little bit, because if you try to park anytime close to when the event starts, you're going to waste over an hour trying to park, and I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
So
I've felt the wrath of that myself. I'm not gonna lie. I've
yeah,
been
so
there.
you got, and Peter's felt the wrath of that too. So I can't stress enough, like 5 or just before 5, if you can get there for parking, you're fine. You're not gonna have to wait very long at all.
Okay, thank you, Danny. We got Battle Super Chat Mondo. I'm going to Disneyland tomorrow to fire it up. Hope to see you there, man. I hope you have a wonderful trip. Be prepared because for some reason it's 95 degrees out here. Are we ever going to be able to wear sweaters? Gosh, I just want to wear my sweaters. I have all these nice hoodies that I cannot wear, but I hope you have a wonderful trip, Quack Saddle. Let's see. And do not miss out on the cavalcade that happens at like 1:15 or 1:30. It's like a Halloween cavalcade. It's like one of the highlights during the daytime. Do not miss out on that. But thank you for the super chat. Beverly says, is there any more news on Disney buying Garden Walk? Zero. That's a hot mess too. Maybe we adults could get a bar open past 11 p.m. unlike downtown Disney. Yeah, Garden Walk. I don't know why Disney never made that push for that land, but there's absolutely zero talk. My Alyssa says, hey guys, back from Palm Springs. What are your thoughts about the SCL, the Stony Clover line, and the Child Collab? I thought it was pretty cute. My thoughts on it, why is that not being dropped in the Disney parks? My Alyssa's talking about a Grogu Stony Clover line that debuted with different like bags and fanny pack, I think. It would have been great to have that in I guess Star Traders. For some reason they don't want to drop stuff like that in Batu, but it would have been good. Let me see. I'm just reading. How do we not have Miles with the movie dropping soon in DCA? Darstar says, is the Galactic starcruiser that popular still for them to bring it to Disneyland? I know Disneyland might want it here, but it's different audience here. I think it's not even about popularity. I think it was just in the plan. It's just Galaxy's Edge was created, and then Halcyon Galactic starcruiser was created too. And they go together. And the future of whatever the heck Disney's trying to do, those two things go together. Do you think Disney takes a loss on the Galactic starcruiser at some point, Danny, or they're just they have like a 3-year plan where they're okay with it if it's not so popular down the line? What do you think?
Yeah, I think they have plans to change it up and make it more relevant to get people to redo their experience. Because some people might not want to, do it again if they've already done it once. They already know the plot line. So I feel like eventually they'd have to change it somehow. Or maybe at certain times of the year they offer different storylines and they can indicate it as such. So, they, who knows? But I have a feeling there's a lot they could change on that pretty quickly.
Yeah. I think Galactic starcruiser just needs to be like, January through February is this storyline. April to July is this Han Solo, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, blah, blah, blah timeline. And then at some other point, just drop Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Ahsoka timeline. And just bring all sorts of stories to life on the Halcyon. It would be great. I think it'd be great. So Yvette says Sony owns the rights to 2 of the Spider-Man. It would take a miracle for that to happen at Avengers. They own all the Spider-Man. Sony owns all the Spider-Mans. If they could get the Tom Holland version, why can't we get the other versions? Why not? Garfield and what is the other one? I can't even think off the top of my head right now. Tobey Maguire. Freaking Tobey. I still can't believe Disney went the route of like Spider-Man was their main thing that Avenger Campus was going to be about. But I'm happy. I freaking love Spider-Man. It's one of my favorite superheroes of all time. But if they could drop, let me rewind a little. The Toby suit is on property somewhere. They've debuted that suit already. We have that suit somewhere. The Garfield one, I don't know. But it's a crime that we don't have 3 Spider-Mans at Avenger Campus. Especially knowing that movie made, I don't even know how much billion. It was a lot of billion. Good tip we learned last night that I wish we knew on our visit. Oh, Peter was at Horror Nights again. The Weekend Bar has a whole section for RIP and Express. It's for Express too? I didn't know that. If you have Express, you don't need to wait in those save lines. Yeah, the RIP I know has like their own Weekend Bar. They only have the drinks. They don't have none of the food. Crystal and Chris, they're another YouTube channel that just posted a video of like a whole foodie guide of Horror Nights. Really good info. And they said that the pizza fries were good, but for the most part, I keep hearing that the pizza fries were not good. Have you heard anything on pizza fries, Danny, from Horror Nights?
Yeah, I heard that the Hollywood ones weren't all that good. Obviously, there's a lot to live up to for Orlando, but like Peter mentioned, when we went, these are iconic for Halloween Horror Nights, especially in Orlando. And it seems like some of that creative team came over here to help with this year's event. So if you're going to offer pizza fries for the first time on the West Coast, make it more than one location. You know what I mean? Don't make it in not only the smallest bar on property, but like the bar that has the most like people trying to go to it because it has the weekend's name attached to it.
You know, I know it wouldn't make sense, but where the plaza is and they had like a Dia de los Muertos theme, I think that should have been the weekend. Just up there. More space, more restaurant, more drinks. It does make it cool because it's on the lower lot with the maze down there. But I think the space would have been a lot better upstairs. Yeah, because that weekend bar is so popular. It's insane. And most of those drinks are cut water. And from what I keep hearing, they're all really stiff drinks. Like you're getting bang for your buck, whatever you're buying out there. Amanda says, hi guys, I'm going to HHN for my birthday. Is it worth going just for the vibe and have a few drinks with my fam? Going on the 6th and the 21st, I will try to get Express. Amanda, if you're just going for the vibe, this is my recommendation. Go get drinks, get food, hang out in the scare zones, and at 11 o'clock, buy that front of the line pass for $89 or 79 or 89, and you could do Express on whatever rides you're just feeling that day. That is like the best tip right there, in my opinion. If you're going for the vibes and then you want to do some houses, $89. Totally worth that. That's a great.
Totally. I agree with that.
That's a good plan, right, Dad? Get some drinks, food, and then you're like, all right, what houses do I want to do and not have to wait any line with Express?
Right.
Beverly says, got stuck on Web Slingers the night of Oogie Boogie for 30 minutes. Not a great ride. And definitely not worth an hour of a wait. You waited 1 hour on Oogie Boogie? Oh my gosh. Danny, you did Oogie Boogie. Can we get an overall review? Because I haven't even done Oogie Boogie. I will very soon. How was your trip? Give us your your breakdown of from the beginning to end. How did it go?
Yeah, it was good. We started off the event with trying to go directly to the Sanderson sisters because that's what we were told. And we were encountered with a 2.5 hour wait for the Sanderson sisters. But it does get better later on, so keep that in mind. I think every single person and their mother will tell you to watch the second parade because the first one's too crowded. I feel like now I want to recommend the opposite based on my own experience because we walked up. If you're trying to watch the parade closer to Pixar Pier, like where it comes out of next to like the Bayside Brews or Little Mermaid area, not a lot of people watch the parade over there. Everyone watches it in Hollywood. They watch it on Buena Vista Street. So it's a great space to watch the parade over by Little Mermaid and beyond. We got a spot for the parade maybe 20 minutes before it started and had an amazing upfront view right up against the line. And the parade came, and then as soon as the parade was over, we went to all the different mazes, or all the different mazes, treat
There's
trails.
different scare zones, scarabody.
Yeah. We went to all the treat trails, and there was like very minimal waits on everything. And I feel like, and then during the second parade, like everything was empty because I feel like everyone was watching, because
It was like a flip-flop. Everybody wanted to see the parade in the second show and left all the
Yeah.
treat trails empty.
because like Ernesto de la Cruz had a huge wait when it first opened, but then when we went, it was like 5 minutes.
Wow. So Ernesto's like a better meet and greet the second half of Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, and then during the second parade, the Sanderson sisters were like 25.
Wow. So do not do Sanderson Sisters first. What was your opinion on Ernesto de la Cruz that you got to see him up close? Because we've never had a character come to life like that, like Ernesto de la Cruz with the facial features that move. What were your thoughts on all that and the outfit?
The character was amazing. It was very well executed. I couldn't believe how realistic it was. Having him speak, I don't know if he was singing live, and only his speaking was live, but however they did it, it just was really awesome, and it worked really, really well. And I liked the fact that they had a setup so if you wanted to stay and watch him sing, they had a spot off to the side where you could stand and wait, and you didn't have to, just do the normal pass through that you would do with one of these characters and get moved along. You can choose to do that, or you can, go through, get your candy, and then enter that little kind of back area off to the side to continue watching.
They didn't have that in the beginning, dude. That experience you got's new, where you could
Yeah,
just
I know. It was
chill and
it was
watch
nice.
Ernesto. Did you have fun? Was it worth the money as a returning guest to Oogie Boogie? That's what I really want to ask.
Yeah, I had fun. Depending on what villains they did next time, it might influence me whether or not I do it next time or not. But yeah, I feel like Oogie Boogie Bash is always fun. I really like the Frightfully Fun Parade every single time. I like the vibe at Disney California Adventure during the event. When I was there, Web Slingers was 5 minutes. So
Yeah, 1 hour. That's shocking to hear it during Oogie Boogie.
yeah, it was literally 5 minutes when I walked up to it. Didn't want to do it, but and then just the vibe in Avengers Campus and all the stuff that they do, it was. I would say it's worth it, even though I did it the year before. But I could see how some people might not. But if you have kids, absolutely.
Yeah, kids, Oogie Boogie is incredible. There's no denying that. Was Villains Grove worth doing, Daddy? That's the one I want to ask. Because I know you like Villains Grove. You like Villains Grove. Mm-hmm. For me, Villains Grove, how is there not character treat trail in there? I'm just shook, dude. This is 3 years without a character in there. I don't know. Put Chip and Dale in there. Just put Chip and Dale in there. That's all. It's that easy.
Yeah, I mean, Villains Grove is unique and different, and it's not something that we have normally, right? So I find it exciting to walk through every time. But this is the third year with the same characters. It's kind of like, Universal or Knott's offering the same mazes over and over again. It gets tiring. You know what I mean?
Michael Myers, one more year.
So I feel like next time we have Villains Grove, they don't have to change out all the villains if they don't want to, but they need to change out the themed villain sections, at least a few of them.
I think the first one, which isn't it Hunchback, that one could easily be something else. Just make it something else. Maleficent could stay. Queen of Hearts could stay. Cheshire Cat should be something different. I feel like it needs change. All right, let's go to the big one. And shout out to Danny. Early speculation was Marius Knights wasn't going to come back. It is now true. Merriest Nights, $175 4-hour experience, and you get the same stuff you get at Disneyland during a regular theme park night, is not coming back. Are you bummed about it? What are your thoughts, Danny? I'll let you go first. I'll go second.
I'm a little bummed because I wanted to see what they were going to do with it. I wanted to see how they were going to change it up. But yeah, overall, I'm not, because I know that the team that puts together these events, they have some fun things, I'm sure, planned for us. Star Wars Night was amazing. I loved Star Wars Night so much. So seeing how they improved Star Wars Night for the new year is great. Sweethearts Night, I don't go to that event usually, but I know it's a huge popular event that sells out. Seeing what they'll do for that this year, those things that we know for sure are going to come back. Obviously, we're going to get Oogie Boogie Bash again. So this made sense. It wasn't a super long-lasting event, and it wasn't like that well received, like as a whole. And so, if they're given a budget and been like, hey, this is how much money you've got to put on all these events for 2023, and this is all we're going to give you. And they had all these ideas for all these different events, but they don't have enough money for all the events. So they probably had to then weigh their options and be like, hey, what events do we want to bring? And do we want to try something new instead of doing Merriest Nights? So I think maybe Merriest Nights got cut for something new that we haven't seen yet, or maybe something we have seen but not seen in a while.
Yeah. I think everything that came with Merriest Nights could be implemented like on a weekend only kind of thing. There was nothing too crazy where you're like, whoa, this is so unique to this event. There was nothing like that. Nothing like that. To me, I am not saddened, not one bit, that Merriest Nights is not coming back. I do wish, though, something would have come for Christmas. The early speculation is that something could come to life after Dark-wise next year, but it would go to DCA. For me, I feel like that's kind of a good move. You throw in the mix of more of an adult theme Christmas. I would assume that's why it's going to DCA. I think World of Color is a great implementation that they could do for Christmas. I would hope it's like a Christmas After Dark specific show. I think when I go to After Dark events, I want something of value that's like not in a normal theme park time. I think After Dark events, for the most part, are key holders. Like, I know that a lot of people go to After Dark events that don't have passes, but I feel like a lot is influenced by locals that come to After Dark events. I feel like Merriest Nights was one of the events that kind of wasn't for locals. And the reason I say that, it was the big selling point for me. Merriest Nights was a lower crowded Disneyland themed park. I don't think Muppets would be a reason for me to spend $175. But, I don't know. Maybe other people like the Muppets that much. But that's what I think the big selling point was. If it goes to DCA, I would hope a lot, like an awesome foodie guide comes with it. I would hope merch comes with Merriest Nights, like more merch. They did very minimal merch last year. But if it's some Christmas event, I hope we get like a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas overlay that you only get in the After Dark event. Web Slingers Christmas overlay. Stuff like that could easily be done. Easily. The one that proves it is Monsters After Dark, and that's regular theme park hour. So I don't know, stuff like that would be cool. There's more things I could think of, but those are just the top of my head that I'm thinking of. Let me see. 90s Night would sell out. And to talk about After Dark events, since we're on that subject right now, I cannot believe. I gotta hit this sound right now. Previously, Disney's done Avengers Assemble in California Adventure. Now that we have Avengers Campus, 0 After Dark event themed to Marvel. I am beyond shook. Did the budget really go to Villains Night over a Marvel night? I'm just mind blown by that thought. I could imagine next year there's for sure an Avengers After Dark event. I would find it hard to believe that there's not. But I'm shocked it didn't come this year. Really shocked by that.
Yeah, Mono and I have talked about it before. My dream night would be kind of like almost what they did for the grad night family reunion or whatever, but a little bit more, well executed, because I didn't like that event, but I didn't go to it. But Mondo said it was fun. But I want to do a Generations night. I want there to be different parties throughout, and I want it to be in Disneyland. And I want there to be different parties throughout. So Tomorrowland be set up as a 2000s, and you have like Disney Channel original movies. So you have like the High School Musical, you have the Hannah Montana, you have the Teen Beach Movie, all that stuff going on over there with the stage and just music everywhere and like random photo opportunities and stuff like that. Then over in Fantasyland, by the It's a Small World area, you have the 90s setup with all the 90s stuff, the Afternoon Avenue, the 90s music playing, the 90s characters all out, all the vibe going on over there. And then over in Frontierland and closer to Rivers of America, they've got the 80s setup, and then they can do like an 80s cruise on the Mark Twain Riverboat, where they have like an 80s band playing on the cruise like they did for 90s night, but with an R&B 90s band. So they could do the same thing, but like just have generations of parties all throughout Disneyland, and you can kind of spend your time in each one. They could even have like a cavalcade, some of the old characters. And then for the fireworks show, I know for 90s night, they did a 90s fireworks show with like the Powerline song. They could do something like that, but then throw in other things too. Because it's 2000s, they could make like Hannah Montana, High School Musical, and the fireworks show. I feel like people would just like lose their mind for an event like that.
Yeah.
And they could call it like Disney Generations. I don't know. But
dude,
I think
80s,
really
80s and 90s night went so hard as an After Dark event at Disneyland. It was incredible.
Yeah, that's why they gotta combine them and then add early 2000s.
Dude, it'd be the best After Dark event in history. In history. I don't even care about Star Wars night. 80s, 90s, 2000s event. Is this the fireworks show? What am I watching? Oh no, our fireworks show got canceled this day. I remember. Damn, look at this Little Mermaid, dude. This is 80s night, by the way. This is like when Disney cared about their foodie guides on After Dark events. Look at that. This is all just one menu, Daddy, at Rancho de Zocalo. Look at that. That's already more items than all of Oogie Boogie Bash. Oh, man. Dude, I don't know why Disney hasn't brought this back. This is from 80s night. It's the bubblegum beignets. Did you go to 80s night, Daddy? I think you did.
No, I didn't.
You went to 90s. You went to 90s?
Yep.
Oh, man. Dude, let me play this real quick. I don't understand why Disney doesn't take advantage of this more, dude. Look at this. Let me hit the music.
Five Fires.
Five Fires?
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't want to eat it, but I want to eat it. You know what I mean?
I recommend it.
And if the elevator tries to break you down, you go crazy. Watch out!
Dude, I feel like people would just show up for this live band at the Rivers of America, dog. Like, it was so much fun. So much. I don't understand why they don't use the entertain. Like, right now, why are the Cadaver Dans not going through Rivers of America before Fantasmic? Like, because it's Halloween time, right? Like, it would be great. It'd be great. Dude, this concept right here was so good. Over here at Harbor. last time we saw R2D2. I miss you. But yeah, After Dark events, hopefully whatever comes next year in 2023 is going to be great. We already know the first After Dark event's going to be Sweetheart Nights because Valentine's. I don't know where they'll take things after that next year. I do want to go into Knott's Scary Farm before we go any deeper. I got a chance to go opening day, Knott's Scary Farm. A lot of things came into play. A chaperone policy came into effect, and a bag policy came into effect. I want to get into heavy Knott's talk right now. This right here is the first time it's ever been implemented at Knott's Berry Farm. Thank you to our Knott's Adventure on Instagram. They are one of the best Instagrams to follow with Knott's news. This right here is the bag size that they were checking. So if your bag was bigger than that, you couldn't bring it into Knott's. And the thing about it, when I go to my Instagram, let me see. The rules for the bag policy was guests may not bring bags larger than 6.5, 4.5, and 2 inches. And no backpacks, fanny packs, diaper bags. Pretty much you're bringing a small ass bag to Knott's Scary Farm. The chaperone policy, everybody knows what that is already. I won't go into detail on that. My thing was, how is this going to affect crowds? How is it going to affect like the overall feel of Knott's Scary Farm? And on opening day, I haven't talked about any of this yet because I only did the live stream. Knott's Scary Farm, the only 2 mazes, which are the new ones, are the only ones that held a longer than a 1 hour wait. Every single other maze from Origins, Dark Entities, Depths, Mesmer, Pumpkin Eater, Dark Ride, I'm not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating. No more than 5 to a 10-minute wait, if not a walk-on. I was shook. I was like, whoa. I've never been to a scary farm where everything is accessible, essentially. And in that regard, it's incredible. As a guest experience, to be able to do everything without express, it's very valuable. That's awesome. I never felt unsafe, and the whole chaperone policy, security, obviously being upped at the theme park, it was great from that aspect. The show at the main stage, I didn't have a chance to see it in its entirety, but I feel like it's getting a lot of well reception from a lot of people. People are really enjoying that show. The other thing too, I didn't hear not one word from the magic show that happens at the birdcage. So if anybody saw it, please post in the comments right now. Is it worth watching? Because when you're at Scary Farm, time is valuable. But the new 2 mazes is called Bloodline, which is an interactive shooter where you're shooting down vampires, and it's a lot of fun. It resembles a lot of what Special Ops Infected used to be back in the day. I loved it. I got to go through it 3 times, and I enjoyed it every single time. I said it before in the live stream, and I'll say it again. It almost feels like the interactive shooting the vampires was kind of not needed. But whatever. That's the route they went. Grimoire, for me, the Grimoire was beautiful. It was cool. I just did not get it. And I watched the video again of my walkthrough to try to see, like, what did I miss? I still don't get it. But hey, a lot of people are saying that it's amazing and great. To me, I just feel like I just didn't get it. So it's like I'm trying to appreciate it. All the scare actors, they were all great. Nothing wrong with that. It was just the transitions of whatever the heck you're going through in the Grimoire is kind of like, I don't know. I just didn't get it. These are like my biggest positives from Scary Farm. They freaking staffed scare zones the best I've ever seen. The best I've ever seen. I couldn't believe how awesome Ghost Town Streets was. The Goring 20s, I fell in love with it this year. I wasn't the most fond of it last year, but this year they did incredible. They got their storylines, the whole interactive aspect of a scare zone. They have it down. Really great job. And then Carnival and the Clowns, which are freaking always awesome. They did a great job. The only one where I kind of just felt like lackluster was Forsaken Lake. I don't know if that's gonna stay another year, but we'll see how things work out with Forsaken Lake. And shout out to the Hollows. I do not want to forget the Hollows. Y'all are amazing in the Hollows. But all of the scare zones were so staffed. I was like, this is incredible how hard Knott's Berry Farm went. The one negative was how understaffed the houses were. From the Depths, Dark Entities, Dark Ride, Pumpkin Eater, even Mesmer. I don't know. Could I have walked through when they're on break that many times? I don't know. And then I asked on my Instagram what other people's experiences were, and it seems like a lot of people are saying the same thing, like the same narrative, that like there wasn't a lot of scares in the houses. And I was talking to my buddy Villain. I was like, I feel like if they took 25% of staff from the scare zones and threw them in the houses, everything would even out perfectly. But overall, I enjoyed my Scary Farm trip. It is definitely worth going out and visiting. I know a lot of people always want to ask, what's better, Scary Farm or HHN? They're two different things. They are just two different things, and I recommend both. Just do both. We have a whole October ahead of us. Like, you know what I always get amazed, Daddy? Is like how much stuff we do and almost get Halloweened out, and it's not even the end of September.
Yeah.
Shit is starting too early these damn days, dude. It's crazy. It's just freaking crazy.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I didn't get a chance to watch the whole live. I was watching a lot of it. I watched you guys go through the new mazes. But what I didn't get to ask you is, how did Goring 20s fare this year? Was it just as good, if not better? Did they make some improvements?
It was the same format, but I feel like their characters, their storylines were just on point, dude. Like straight up, they were on point. Let me play this real quick, Danny.
Were they still giving you clues and stuff?
So let me just throw it out there. There is no speakeasy still. There is no speakeasy that the blind tiger, it exists, but it does not exist. But the Goring, I gotta play this because it's so good. I thought they did such a good job. I fell in love with the Goring 20s, dude. Let me play this real quick. Yeah, I can't wait. We're going to do it again.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah.
The line kind of died down a little right now.
Okay, cool.
There's still like 70 minutes. But
Damn, 70 minutes.
Yeah.
for standby, you know.
Hey, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, 120. Easy.
I know, we're doing HHN on Saturday. It's going to be so busy.
Oh,
dude.
man. You better be out front of the line.
I know.
What do you got?
Oh, what is this? Oh, he's giving you some.
I don't want to drink it. Why would I drink it? What is
Want to
it?
feel good? You want to be in my level, darling? Come on.
I want to be at your level? Okay.
Come on.
Oh! You're gonna die. Damn. What's going on? We've heard all these strange things about these drinks.
What drinks you talking
They said they're to die for. Another person told me don't drink them.
You a copper?
I'm so confused. I'm not a cop. Not a cop.
You don't look like one.
I know. I'm just out here with the town folk, just trying to blend in. I was trying to find out.
It's not a safe neighborhood. You know that, right?
Oh man, I was trying to find out where the speakeasy is. Nobody tells me.
Really?
What do they call it? Something tiger. I can't remember.
You're talking about the blind tiger.
The blind tiger. Yes, yes. Do you know anything about it?
Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
Maybe you do. Okay. Well, how can we help you help me?
Here's the thing, pal. You get in with the right people. Well, let's say you do me favor.
Okay.
I'll do you favor.
Oh, what do you need? What do you need?
You see that old bag over there, the flower lady?
Yeah.
You go tell her. She sells me another rotten apple. It's curtains.
Rotten apple?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thank you. I'll be back.
Right here. You talk.
Hey, this is the oh my god. Look at this universe, Daddy. Like the whole universe is built right here of Goring 20s, Doc. Like, look at this, dude. This is an interactive Ghost Town of Life feel scare zone, and they pulled it off tremendously, dude. I couldn't believe how cool the Goring 20s was. It was surprised me how much I loved it this time. What are your thoughts when you see that, Daddy? Because I know you haven't been to Scary Farm, but what are your thoughts, dude?
It looks good. It fits well now with the prop shop right behind it. It all kind of just comes together real nice. And I feel like the outfits for the Goring 20s people look a lot more improved.
Yeah, they
Definitely
did a lot better. That's right.
Yeah. And then I like that they kept up the storyline and didn't just drop it. They got the band still playing up above like they did last time. So that's really fun. And they even have the door for the blind tiger too.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I enjoyed it, and it looks like they kept it up, so I'm happy about that. Was the Hollow still your favorite scare zone like it usually is?
I'm gonna say Ghost Town Streets and Goring 20s killed it, dude. Yeah, nothing against the Hollows, but dude, from my first trip, Ghost Town Streets is number 1 and Goring 20s number 2. I freaking loved it. We got a super chat. Let me hit that horn. Oh, wrong one, but we'll go with it. When that voice in the dark said, "I see you," when you said you couldn't see anything, gave me chills. So there was a part, Daddy, I was going through Ghost Town Streets with the live stream, and I literally just kept saying, "I can't see nothing, dude." I had my hand like this, and I literally said, "I can't see nothing." And this like monster who's like 6'4" was like, "You can't see nothing, but I can see you." It was just like, dude, it was so dirty. It was so dirty. Darnell, right? I that was one of my favorite moments. It was incredible. Jen says the carnival show is 100 out of 10. I know. I gotta watch it. Mama Cat says they don't allow bigger bags for medical reasons. They do allow. Yep, that is true. So Calorific says the live music at Goring 20s was awesome with the dancers and the scare actors participating. I know. I loved it. Your live was so fun. Yeah, I can't wait to go back to Not Scary Farm. I will for sure be back 1 or 2 times, depending. We'll see how like schedules play out. But the chaperone policy, I just want to make it very clear, it worked. The crowds are lower. I don't know how else to say it other than I saw 0 kids at Scary Farm. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I saw 0 kids at Scary Farm. But overall, that's my thoughts on Scary Farm. To me, I had a 9 out of 10 time. I enjoyed everything about it. I could honestly go to Scary Farm to do the scare zones and then the shows, and that would be enough for me. I feel like that's good enough for me. But I've done a lot of those houses already, so I'm not missing.
So what was going on? What was going on inside the Calico Mine Ride?
Yeah, Calico Mine Ride. I have videos of it. I've recorded it all, but it is now like a candy Halloween overlay. For the Calico Mine Ride, it's like a fun candy theme with kids type of ride. And in the nighttime, it does transition into like the witch takes over, and it's like a Scary Farm theme. And I'm just talking about projections that change over, but it's really fun. Calico Mine Ride at Knott's Berry Farm and the Timber Log Ride, which is I guess the Halloween Hootenanny now. Those are really fun and can't miss things to do at Knott's Scary Farm or just Knott's Berry Farm in general. It's definitely good. Definitely good.
So before we leave Halloween events, since we talked about HHN, we talked about Scary Farm, talked about Oogie Boogie Bash, is there any more Halloween events that Five Fires can look forward to doing and seeing on your channel, or are you just going to be repeating them? Is there any new ones like the Shack, the House Stream?
I'm eyeing the Shacktoberfest. I was eyeing Fright Fest, but that is not going to happen anymore. I don't have any like. I had a plan to do a lot, but as time's played out, I'm kind of like okay. I don't know. I just like I don't know.
What about a haunted car wash?
No, I don't think so. The only one that's calling my name right now is Shacktoberfest. I haven't bought my ticket to that, but I will soon because I know it's like around the corner. But I don't have no other event. I want to go back to Disneyland. That's what I've been in this like scare the shit out of you, Michael Myers, La Llorona. I've been too much in the Grimoire. I need to like be next to like Mickey Mouse in Halloween outfit. That's what I've been wanting, Danny. I've been missing the nicer side of Halloween. Not that the other parks are not nice, but just in general. Like I've been wanting the fun Halloween that Disney provides. We got Carlo. What's up, Carlo? Cheers to Mondo Mystery. Dude, cheers to you, my friend. Cheers to you. And the Five Fires family. No horror events for us this season, but your footage, let us live it. We miss you guys. I know. I hope to be. I want to go out to Vegas again, Carlo. Mystery Bay. Hopefully we could plan when she's not pregnant. Obviously, I cannot wait to go back to freaking Vegas. Carlo, I want to ask: is there any fun places to do in Vegas that are like Halloween themed or just some Halloween inspiration? Let me know, Carlo. I'm just curious to hear. Or anybody in the chat, is there any fun place to go Halloween wise in Vegas? That'd be cool to
Mondo,
know.
are you gonna go back next weekend for Spooky Farm?
Yes, I will for sure cover Spooky Farm. I want to try the foods that have arrived at Knott's Scary Farm, not Spooky Farm. Same thing with HHN. I still want to do the foods, even though I'm like hella late to it all. I want to try the pizza fries, so I could be like, they were good or they weren't good. I don't have the opinion yet. I haven't tried them, but yeah, Spooky Farm is something I love covering every year. And I like doing that because I know a lot of families that follow me here on YouTube would like to know what's available. Do you foresee any new changes, Danny, coming to Disney or what they've set since September? This is kind of the play out that is going to happen in October. Do you see anything being added?
Other than just Magicband, no.
You know what would be really cool? And I know the reception was bad, but honestly, it would just be a great addition. Why not just bring Villainous for October at Disney California Adventure in regular theme park hour? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they have the show loaded up or programmed anymore, but I think it'd be cool to kind of throw it in and give it to people again. It only got one run, during Oogie Boogie Bash of the first year, so they spent money building the show. So yeah. I don't know the logistics of putting it in, but I think it'd be cool to offer it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it would be a cool offering, dude. October Villainous to come to DCA. We got Big Hulk in the chat. Who would have known? Hey, Hulk, you need to get out of the suit, man. Mondo, been a big fan. Met you twice with my nephew. Can I get a shout out? Hey, shout out to Big Hulk, man. We got Wing Nike with the super chat. Where's Rufus? Has anyone seen him at Knott's Berry Farm? Rufus is unheard of. I haven't seen Rufus in like 3 months, maybe. Who knows? I have seen no chickens. No chickens anywhere at Knott's Scary Farm or Knott's Berry Farm. If I ever see him, I will report back. But I have not seen Rufus. Very good question. Ketra says the Hollywood pizza fries were not good. So Crystal and Chris just tried them and they said they were good. I got to try them. I have a frequent fear. I will be back at Knott's, or not at Knott, at HHN. I will try them on my next trip. I don't know when it'll be. Hopefully soon. But I will try them. And I believe Ketra. I believe a lot of people have said they're not good. And I still revert back to what Danny has said. How are the pizza fries not offered on the upper lot as well? It would have just made sense. The Hollywood and Dine, I think is what it's called. Right when you walk in on the right side.
They should have offered them at Luigi's, Mondo.
Luigi's, where they sell pizza. Oh, man. Help me, Rhonda says, what show is the big theater at Knott's Scary Farm since Arriver has gone? So the show that's happening at Knott's Scary Farm is called Puppet Up. I've watched it for 2 years. I do not care to go back to watch it a third year. I'm okay on Puppet Up. But if you've never seen it, I do recommend going to it. It is very adult, so be aware of that. But it's fun. But I do not care to go back to it. The Jurassic World exhibit in San Diego. I will be there soon, Yvette. That is true. Very, very true. Carlo with 15 months. Let's go. Carlo. 2 places. Freakling Brothers Trilogy of Terror. Holy, what the freak is that? One of the best mazes, you must sign a waiver. Otherwise, I recommend the Saw and Blair Witch escape room. Dude, I'm going to take a picture of that. Damn, I never even heard of this, but wow. Holy smokes.
Dude, a sauce.
I don't know if I could do a Saw escape room, Danny, because I know for a fact they're going to put your body in these bad positions. I think I'm okay on that one. Ketra says, compared to Orlando, I had the pizza fries in Orlando. I gave them, if I can remember, a 3 out of 5. They were right in the middle. I don't know. It's kind of like they don't use the cheese that's used on pizza. They use like different cheese. If you've tried them, that like it would make sense. Hula Mama says, I agree not spending any time to see Pup It Up. I'd rather see, watch the main stage show 2 times. Watch that twice because it was crazy. It was crazy. Okay, I want to get into a couple topics before we like go to anywhere else. I want to talk about the treehouse, Danny. The more time goes on, the more I think this treehouse ain't coming this year, dude. I have a feeling it's a next year thing. Who would have thought that the treehouse was going to go into such an overhaul to not even be ready this year? I know that there's been no word or speculation on that, but that's just my personal speculation that it's not going to be a this year thing. As more time goes on, I feel like the hype and the caring about what it's going to become, it's like kind of dwindling, Danny. At least for me it is. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I feel people kind of forget about it, and then every once in a while they'll see it when they're walking through Disneyland. They're like, oh yeah, I forgot about the treehouse. And and I don't know that people really, I don't think we really truly know what's going on, right? Like, did they uncover some structural issues when they took out the bridge? Now they took out the entrance to the treehouse, so now they have to rework the entire layout of it to fit in an entrance somewhere else.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of work that needs to be done on it, and then not to mention the structure's old. We talked about that before. So adding anything new up in it for some new characters, some new IP, it's got to be able to hold the weight of that, as well as all the guests that are going to be standing up in the tree. And being that the tree's a lot more crowded now, since it'll be new and updated, people want to see it. You'll have a lot of people just stuck up in the tree, not moving. So because the lines get long and people want to spend time doing stuff. So, but can it hold that weight? So I don't know. There's like a lot of things in place. So maybe it's going to take longer than we anticipated, but we all thought it was coming back sooner than later.
Yeah. Theme park and things with 14 months of membership. Thank you, Theme Parks and Things, for all your support, Johnny. He says, I know you guys are tired of hearing. We're never tired, man. Yeah, I love it. Of hearing about Tarzan's treehouse, but my theory, it's torn up for Pirates or Indiana Q or just extended eating area. Is there any chance that happens, Danny? That like we're all hoping Antonio's treehouse, Jungle Cruise, rock theming, SCA. There's also been that SCA. We could get an SCA treehouse. It just ends up being a queue or extended eating area. I feel like if that happens, it will be a huge letdown. I don't know how else to say it. We lose an attraction for a queue. What? I think people would be pissed, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, there's not. I feel like if that was the case, we would have seen the tree start coming down a lot sooner. You know what I mean? The tree's still there. It's still up. So I don't necessarily know that that's the case, and I feel like it's also doing its job of hiding a lot of things they want hidden as well. So, I saw the theory about the SEA treehouse. I went to the SEA panel at D23 Expo, and they did say that they were going to try to bring SEA into more attractions throughout Disney parks. The first entirely SEA attraction more recently was the Soaring Fantastic Flight in Tokyo, and that was what they talked about. So they mentioned that in the future there might be more, and maybe this is that. So we don't know.
What about if it becomes a DVC lounge? Hey, you never know, Daddy. They brought a DVC lounge to Launch Bay.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, the community will be furious if the treehouse becomes the DVC lounge. What were you gonna say, Daddy?
I said that would be a weird location for a DVC lounge.
It'd be kind of cool, though. I'm just saying it would be kind of cool, but I feel like a lot of anger would come with that one. Yeah, Mike Hawk's saying the same thing, Danny. It might be a structural thing, dude. Could be a structural thing. I asked the Five Fire members what they wanted to talk about, and I have a lot of them here. Let me see. Some people really wanted to talk about Christmas, but I feel like it's just way too early to talk about Christmas. Have you? I've talked about this on my Instagram not that long ago. How there really isn't like a clear cut couple or two or three things that have one theme wise Halloween treats or foods. Have you really enjoyed any treats or foods from Disneyland Resort, Danny?
For Halloween, no.
I know, me neither, dude. Me neither. I do plan to try some at the Plaza de Familia. It seems like they got a lot of stuff there. I just haven't had a chance to make it out there. Hopefully, I'll do that next week. I know this is a broken record, but this is what somebody in the Five Fire members said. Our Magicband or our Magic Keys coming back this year. Now that we're about to end in September, Danny, do you think there's any hope that anything gets opened up for Magic Keys? Because to me, the feeling I've got, there's been a lot of people that have not renewed. They just have not renewed. What are your thoughts, Danny? Any Magic Key coming back this year?
Yeah, I mean, there was a part of me that thought for a really long time that we wouldn't hear anything until next year. But then there's so much happening next year, you know what I mean? So when's really a good time?
I know we got all that Disneyland 100 stuff, dude.
Yeah. So maybe we don't hear anything until, summer or later summer next year. And that's when they start telling. I don't know. I think for everyone, it's purely speculation. There's really no true indication at all when they're going to do new Magic Keys again. Disney's not really in a place right now where they want more guests. You know what I mean? They're trying to curb demand in the best way they know how. What they're trying to do right now is to get more guests to come on the days they want them to come. Mm-hmm. So that's the key of it all right now. So they're not really hurting for attendance. I think those THEA numbers, those every year the awards go out for the attendance numbers. I feel like we might see some Disney parks fall, in those attendance numbers. But I don't think they really care. I don't think they're trying to chase,
Disney's definitely not chasing those 50,000 crowd days no more, huh?
Yeah, they're not ready for that. Like, Bob Chapek said that the per spend on each guest now is a lot higher than it's ever been. So that's really what they're trying to figure out is how they can make the experience better so that people spend more money on each visit rather than like trying to bring in the volume.
To me, it seems like Disney is worried about the 30,000 crowd than the 50,000 crowd. Maybe Disney doesn't care to ever go back to a 50,000 capacity crowd. When you really talk about it, Danny, you make a good point. You would think Magic Keys would probably be hinted at by now to sell them for next year, so new Magic Key holders get to enjoy the 100th celebration. New fireworks, new World of Color, Magic Happens coming back, whatever else entertainment, characters, foods, the centennial celebration, whatever they're trying to call it. It's kind of weird when you think about it. We might not see Magic Keys at all for a very long time. If they don't want more keys for this 100 celebration beginning, why would they even want them in the summertime either, too, right, Danny? For what? What's the point at that point? The trend that I've noticed, it seems like Saturday and Sundays have become the most relaxing trips at Disneyland. Anybody in the chat can agree with me, post in the comments, or if you disagree with me. But everything I see when it comes down to Saturday, Sundays, it seems like Disney has really emphasized on a lower capacity experience. Maybe that has something to do with hotel guests, because I know hotel guests are very important to Disney. And another thing, Mondays have become the absolute worst day to go to Disneyland. And I tell people that all the time, and some people don't believe me, but Monday's crazy, dude. Maybe Disney doesn't even care about Magic Keys till 2 Januaries from now. So maybe they don't go this year. They go a whole nother year, and they open up keys at that point in time when a lot of people have not renewed. That might be the case, Danny. Did you ever foresee Disney trying to go this route? Because I feel like you kind of did, because you really read into the whole, these will be limited. There is a finite amount of Magic Keys that will be sold. And you really emphasized, and it was true. Disney's like, we're done. That's it. What are your thoughts, Daddy?
Yeah, I mean, it took us by surprise. We were talking a lot about that, but, we were poo-pooed by a lot of people saying that, the verbiage on the terms was always that they were limited just because they want to put like a CYA out there, right? Cover themselves just in case they want to stop selling them. But then lo and behold, they did stop selling them. And it was almost like hey, if you made it in, you're in and you can keep it, but no new people. It's kind of like that, Club 33 waiting list, right? If you're in, you're in. You got to keep paying your renewal dues. If you get out and you try to get back in again, you're going to be in a long list of people trying to wait to do it. So,
yeah, dude, it's crazy. Somebody earlier said, who said it? Breezy Bear said, went last Saturday and it was so crowded, it was horrible, to be honest. Damn. Did I go last Saturday? I don't even remember anymore. Was I there last Saturday? I feel like I was, and it wasn't that bad. But I was there in the day, if I can remember. Benjamin says, yeah, I agree. Normally go to Disneyland and DCA Tuesday through Thursday, but Friday through Sunday last trip, and was pleasantly surprised with the crowd level. Yvette says, speculation fire. We see the implementation of theme park membership for the 100 celebration, as they have mentioned over the last 2 years. Do we get to this weird point, Danny, where like your Disney Plus, D23, Magic Key, and whatever Prime system they're going to use for Shop Disney, do we get implemented probably by December? Some implementation of all that? What do you think?
I mean, that makes the most sense, right?
Yeah, it has to be before, though, right? I would think.
Yeah, it's like that one Disney subscription, right? It gives you access to most things. So that would be like the ultimate way for them to kind of to offer that and make sure that you keep renewing and keep up with, that would make sure that like they keep up their Disney Plus numbers too. With a lot of people maybe that wouldn't do it, but as part of something like this maybe would. So it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, I don't know what the positive would be to group everybody together. I know I know what the positive is for the company. I know where you're shopping. I know what you're watching. I know what you're doing. Information, right? It seems like Disney's goal is information for this membership program. It seems like that's like their main goal. Data. They want data of everything. And hence, they want the data that's going to come from Magic Keys, because those track where you walk, they track where you scan, they track everything. So I'm really curious to see how things change with magic bands once they come to life at Disneyland. We got Casey's sister with 15 months of membership. Hold down. 5 for Casey's sister. Thank you so much, Casey's sister, for 15 months. I appreciate you supporting the fire. That means so much. Sorry if I missed something, but if we had a valid key and have not reached the renewal date yet, do we know if we can renew? You could renew 30 days before your key expires. And I can't emphasize this enough because I've already heard tragic stories of a lot of people who thought they could renew like after your expiration date. The answer is no. You cannot renew after your expiration date. It's before. One of my good buddies, his wife, she thought she could renew like a couple days after expiration date. She just is not really in the know of Disney, and she went through the Disneyland app. She called, and I don't know if she went also to the booth or not, but the answer is no. They are staying very firm, and Disney's going, goodbye, thank you for not renewing, thank you. Buy a ticket. We'll have a cheap $87 ticket very soon. But no, Disney's. So please, Casey's sister, renew before your expiration date. Please. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. Any topics you wanted to talk about, Danny?
Well, I wanted to talk about HHN, which we talked about already.
Yeah, no, let's go into it.
No, but
I would love to talk about HHN.
Well, I was going to say, as far as Disneyland, I did want to talk a little bit about San Francisco.
Oh yeah, that too. I'll bring up that picture, but yeah, get into it, Danny.
Yeah, so we were just talking about like what we can expect there, right? Like what we know we're getting new dining, maybe some shopping. We're gonna get a meet and greet with Baymax. No attractions or anything like that. But like figure out what would stay, what would go. In the artwork, if we're just going by the artwork, it would look as though Cocina Cucamonga sticks around because it is there, and it is. If you zoom in on it, you can see Cocina Cucamonga on the right-hand side with its signage. But we do see, and you can see right there, there it is, Cocina Cucamonga. But on the left-hand side, where the Pacific Wharf Cafe is, which is sponsored by Boudin, we see Lucky Cat Cafe, if Mondo can zoom in enough on that one.
You're talking about right here?
Yeah. We don't know what Lucky Cat Cafe is, so I don't know. This one's a little blurrier, I guess. But Lucky Cat Cafe, is this still going to be a sourdough bread bowl location? What are the implications of that? You know what I mean? If it's not a sourdough location, if we don't have a Boudin, like, what are the implications of that? There's so many places around the Disneyland Resort that use Boudin sourdough bread bowls. The Royal Street Veranda Gumbo location, the Harbor Galley in Disneyland serving gumbo as well, but also like clam chowder and things like that. Over in the Craftsman's Grill at the Grand California Hotel, they use the bread bowls for like a meatball sub thing and like a bunch of other things. There's a lot of locations throughout the Disneyland Resort that use the sourdough bread bowls that they bake at this location. So if they're not going to have a Boudin bread factory there anymore, does that mean that Disney just outsources their bread bowls to someone else and it's no longer Boudin anymore? I don't know how well that would go over with all this, people that love their clam chowder, they love their gumbo in a bread bowl that's really good freshly made sourdough. Like, do we lose Ghirardelli's sponsorship in that area? We can't really see it. It's kind of hidden. Is Lucky Fortune Cookery still sticking around? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Where does the Baymax meet and greet go? What about, Rita's Margaritas, the beer truck? There's so many things over there that could potentially change. And Lucky Fortune Cookery is kind of like, I don't know, it's like a mix of, there's some Korean stuff in there. They've got some Chinese food and some Japanese food. The idea of San Francisco, right, is San Francisco and Tokyo, which is Japan.
Danny, real quick, you got to talk about this because your insight is insane. Disney has like destroyed the theming of California, but at the same time created a theming of California in other ways. Can you go over that, dude?
Yeah, I mean, Mondo was asking me like why I thought this was coming, and it's like one of the only areas in the park that's still just only themed to California for the most part, and not themed to something Disney alongside of it. You could argue that like Grizzly Peak Airfield is only themed to California, but there's a little bit of a Disney theme there, right? You know, Soarin's there. They used to have like Minnie's Fly Girls there. And it also incorporates the Grizzly Peak, which is like not part of really anything in California. Um, there was the 1920s Hollywood of Buena Vista Street, which still exists, but they kind of fallen away from that theme a little bit. But when Disney California Adventure reopened with its grand reopening in 2012, the theme was 1920s Hollywood, and then the pier was Paradise Pier, and it was like a old Santa Cruz vintage boardwalk in California. Then you had the winery section. You had this Pacific Wharf section here from San Francisco. You had San Francisco Street next to Little Mermaid with the Palace of the Fine Arts building. You had Cars Land, which makes sense, you know, at the time because it has parts of Route 66, which exists in California. And then, of course, you had Hollywood Tower of Terror, which fit with the 1920s Hollywood theme. And they kind of placemaked that a little bit throughout Hollywoodland when they changed the name of that area too. So it all fit and makes sense, really. But then when they put in Pixar Pier, you know, there went the California Santa Cruz theme of that boardwalk. It's now Pixar themed. Mm-hmm. And then you've got Guardians of the Galaxy. That's no longer Tower of Terror. So then how does it make sense to have the 1920s rail cars from Los Angeles going to this Guardians of the Galaxy spaceship that's there? So like it doesn't really make sense anymore. So they were kind of moving forward with fitting these slightly California themed locations that were also Disney themed, right? If you look at the map that's posted in Avengers Campus, it's supposed to be up north in like Silicon Valley, and they even make mention of the fact that it was built on an old Stark Industries compound, and they make mention of the Golden Vine Winery being like Stark Vineyards. So there's like Disney hints. There's like a Disney theme, but it still ties to California. Same with, you know, Cars Land. There's a Disney theme, but it still ties to California. And then Pixar Pier. There's a Disney theme, but I guess you could somewhat say it ties to California with some of the boardwalks of the past in Santa Cruz, maybe even Santa Monica. Mm-hmm. So there's things that tie to California. The Pacific Wharf was this only unthemed area in all of California Adventure that just was, besides that San Francisco street that goes to like where the Little Mermaid's at, that had no Disney theme. So it makes sense for them to kind of like shoehorn this in so that Pacific Wharf area is still somewhat themed to California, being that it's San Francisco, but it's San Francisco, which also ties into a Disney movie. So, you know, and for the most part, you can tell this is like a Pixar Pier kind of thing. Nothing changes. Like the existing bridge is still there. There's just like a layover on top of it. All the other buildings are there. They're just painted differently with like lanterns and stuff. So it doesn't look like a big change. It looks very much like just a Pixar Pier where they put, you know, some decorations up, some lights, some new paint, some key props, some things like that. Not too crazy, but it'll make the area feel like California, but also Disney too.
Crazy, dude. Dude, awesome insight, Danny. It's kind of weird how Disney is doing so much change from the original California Adventure aspect, but at the same time, they're trying to hold on to it as tightly as possible. They don't want to let go of California, dude. I hope the Boudin factory stays because it does have a big factor with so many restaurants on both parks. California Adventure and Disneyland are part of that, and probably even the resorts. I wouldn't doubt that the resorts also use some of that bread. There's another thing. I can't believe I didn't mention this. We got a new store that has opened, and it's very exciting because it's themed to an upcoming attraction, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We have this new store called Edora's Chic Boutique, and it's right next to Blue Bayou. I had a chance to check it out. It was really cool. A lot of new stuff I've never seen before. Very themed to the storyline that they're trying to go through. Did you have a chance to visit this store yet, Danny, or no?
No, I haven't. I haven't been to Disneyland since this opened, and I'll have to visit it when I come back from Florida. But it's. I talked about in my podcast how I really love the idea of this shop. This Eudora, for those that don't know, that's Tiana's mom. So this is Tiana's mom's like personal shop that she set up inside New Orleans, and it's really going to continue the theme of the attraction. The storyline of the attraction is taking place in the 20s, and Tiana has a growing business. She has an empire, Tiana's Foods, right? So she has ingredients. She wants to share like cooking things and ingredients and cookbooks and things that can help you create your own gumbo, your own, beignets at home. And so that's like kind of the idea of the shop. It's Eudora's Chic Boutique featuring Tiana's, like, I forgot what's the last part of it? Featuring Tiana's Gourmet Secrets.
Yeah, her
So
gourmet secrets. Yep.
yeah, so it's kind of like a draw-in, right? Like you want to know all of Tiana's secrets to her successful restaurant. Well, she's sharing some of those with you here, and then her mom, who's more into fashion, is sharing those things as part of the store. So it's very personal. There's even a little door at the back of the store where you can hear Tiana and her mom talking to each other backstage.
I know. I heard that audio and I couldn't record in time. And I was like, what was that? I didn't even know that was a thing. If you do want to hear that audio, when you walk in, all the way to the left, that's where the audio comes from. I really wish I recorded it, Danny, but when I went on opening day, it was so crowded, dude. It was just hard to be in there. I don't know if it's calmed down now, but I loved it. I thought the theming was great. All the offerings that they had in there were to the whole theme of it all. What I was thinking, though, it is a missed opportunity that there wasn't like a beignet mix in there. You know how Knott's at their like outside of Knott's on the main street that they have that one store that sells like pancake mix,
Yes.
all those mixes that needs to come there. It's just a perfect integration of the theming. Do we now that Tiana has landed, dude, the theming of Princess and the Frog and the storyline that they're building, is Mint Julep and French Market soon to go, and maybe even Cafe Orleans? I do not think Hungry Bear is going to change anything. I feel like if Tiana's place comes to life, I'm going to have to say it's Cafe Orleans, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, we had a chance to, and I wanted to shout out to all the dresses and stuff in there. The collection was from Color Me Courtney. She's kind of like an OG Instagram person that was visiting Disneyland. Very awesome homemade outfits she would make all the time. Well, she finally had her dream come true, and she collabed with Disney to make a whole Tiana-inspired collection. They debuted it at D23, and it's also in the shop, which is awesome. So shout out to her for making that a reality. I know that's awesome. I would love to see my stuff inside Disneyland. But
I have it right here, Danny. There we go.
yeah, exactly. So super shout out to her. That's amazing to like have design something and then it's being sold. Like I can't even like, I don't even know what that would feel like to like design something and see it on itself.
Dream come true. Literal dream. Like that's crazy.
I know. But the
Congratulations to her.
As far as what you were saying, when we're talking about like, the transformation of what's next, right? We talked to the Imagineers at D23 Expo. They said that Tiana is going to take over New Orleans Square. I don't know what that means, but they just said that she's going to have a larger presence in New Orleans Square than she currently does. they didn't mention anything about Critter Country, so I don't know. Like, Hunger Bear would be a really good location for Tiana's Palace or Tiana's Place, but so would like French Market too. So I don't know. We'll have to see how they want to implement more Tiana moving forward. We just know it's coming.
Yeah. Big Avocado says Riverbell Terrace food is horrible. They need a new chef ASAP. Hence the reason I haven't been to Riverbell since it's reopened. And I even canceled my Phantasmic Dining opening day. I personally think it's Cafe Orleans. As much as I would want to say it's Riverbell, that would be a Tiana restaurant. I think it's Cafe Orleans. I think it's Cafe Orleans mainly because maybe you could extend in a French Market and mint julep, and all of that is just the Princess and the Frog theming. And then they could have a little. They have that stage already right there at Mint Julep, the outdoor dining. They have a stage there. They used to play jazz music and stuff like that all the time, and there's been zero entertainment there now. But that's where Tiana could sing. She could have a performance there, like on a nightly thing. That would be incredible. Have Tiana singing in real life. It'd be cool. They already do that, by the way. They already do that stuff on the Disney cruise. And I love Tiana's Place on the Disney cruise. It was so good. It was one of my favorite. But that's what I think. Any other topics you wanted to go over, Danny?
Not for Disney, no.
HHN, I want to talk about it real quick. I had a chance to go again on Saturday, and the crowds were at S show. You know, it's a very popular event. I have a frequent fear. And for all the people considering a frequent fear, it is super worth buying. The fact that I could go to Horror Nights, like I don't have to go at opening. I could just go later in the night. It's so awesome. I did have a chance to hang out more in the Death Eater scare zone, and they're badass, dude. I finally had a chance to just hang out in scare zones in general on my last Saturday trip. And I loved every minute. The scare zones are like my favorite, dude. I freaking love scare zones. Did you want to talk anything in specific about Horror Nights, Danny?
I was gonna say, as far as what's your thoughts this year about them having so many like original things, like new scare zones, having the Hollywood Horror Hotel, the La Llorona come back in like a different form that's not based off of any movie, and then Scarecrow as well. Like all these new original, like did you like that better than kind of having some heavy draw? Or
I loved it. I honestly love every maze this year at Horror Nights. To me, I enjoyed every walkthrough I did at Horror Nights. I didn't have no negative really for anything. The original concept of it all, I think it's really cool. I hope we keep getting more of it, but I will admit I do like IPs. But they did a really good mix this year, like you're saying, Danny, with the Horror Hotel, La Llorona, Legends Collide is his original story too. That's there's no movie on that. But I do like even the Terror Tram. Honestly, is an original, and I love it. I hope they keep this mix going, and if they can, I would like the Metro sets to open with 2 more original mazes, and then a heavy hitter like Stranger Things. Put Stranger Things at the Metro set, dude. I'm not one to say Stranger Things, but with the newest season of Stranger Things, how are we not getting that at Horror Nights? It's like a crime, Danny. We need, what's his name, Vecna? We need Vecna to come to Horror Nights. And I know you could vouch for this too, Danny. We need that, is it Paramount or Warner Brothers to come back? Which one is it?
Warner Brothers.
Where the heck is that Halloween event, dog? That's like a must. If it was to come back, it's a must.
Yeah, and like if they're not going to do Horror Made Here anymore at the Warner Brothers lot, then at least consider like sponsoring a maze or licensing out your stuff at HHN. Because there's so many, like, I want The Conjuring, I want like an Arkham Asylum maze like they had at Horror Made Here. I want like a, you know, like maybe like a Suicide Squad maze or something. Like just give us like all. There's so many cool. You have It, you know, you can have like an It scare zone.
Just game over.
There's
Yeah,
just
that,
so many good Warner Brothers horror movies that they could do. I just, Horror Made Here was really fun, but it's if they're not planning on bringing it back, I don't know.
yeah. I hope it does come back though. That is one that is definitely missed. All right. So to end today's live stream, I do want to ask everybody if you guys have any topics or subjects that you guys want to talk about before we fire it down. But dude, Danny, amazing Speculation Sunday today, my friend. This has been a lot of fun. We got Brian. Super chat. How busy is HHN on Friday night? It is hella busy, my friend. Everything's over an hour. That's the best way to explain how Fridays feel. If you have a regular ticket, Brian, and you trust my opinion, show up at 5, start at 6 at the lower lot with The Weeknd, Killer Clowns, Legends Collide. You're more than likely going to have an awesome day at early entry. Or even if you start with La Llorona, Horror Hotel, and Blumhouse, if you're there at 6, you're going to have a good time. I'm not saying you're not going to wait some long-ass waits because it does get crazy, but you're just going to have a head start. But Fridays do get crazy, Brian. Let me see. For the popcorn buckets at Universal Studios Hollywood, can you bring it back and activate it like a souvenir cup? No. It's just a one-time, one-day thing. That would be cool, but they're not doing it for the Horror Nights one, Spark Sentinel. That would be cool. Let me see. Joanna says, I feel like the Stranger Things hype has died out. When I see the numbers of stream minutes, I would have to beg to differ. Dude, yeah. So I want to throw this out there because I know a lot of people were asking. I did start a Disney Plus Rules second channel, and as much as I wanted to do that channel, I feel like there's a lot of division, and it's kind of crazy to talk Disney Plus these days. And I just kind of didn't want to go that route. I was like, I think I'm all right on those headaches and trying to review Disney Plus and wherever they're taking things. There's just a lot. There's a lot to uncover, or not uncover, but just there's a lot to go through if I was to go into Disney Plus conversations. And I was like, I'm not going to go that route. I think I'm okay. And I stopped. I don't know if I'll go into it or not. We'll see. And I'm not the most fond of Disney Plus shows. If you follow my streams and know my opinion, you already know that. I watched, I read this article about how She-Hulk, I think didn't even come in the top 10 of stream minutes in its most recent episode. And when I looked at what was dominating streaming, it's all Netflix, dude. Netflix dominates streaming. It's insane. Because when I look at Netflix, I could care less to watch anything on Netflix. But as a world, Netflix dominates, dude. I didn't know that, Danny. I know Netflix was kind of like the first one to get into the whole streaming and movies and shows and blah, blah, blah. But as time has gone on, a lot of shows, a lot of movies have pulled out of Netflix, but Netflix still dominates. Dude.
I think Disney would do itself really good if they just, finally bit the bullet and combined Hulu and Disney Plus. I think people are ready for that, and Hulu has those, reality TV shows like the Kardashians and stuff like that in order to be able to compete with Netflix, because Netflix has, Love Island, and they have Selling Sunset, Selling the OC, all these really, really successful reality TV shows, and people love binging that kind of stuff. And if Disney Plus only has a Marvel series or a Star Wars series and then this vast collection of Disney movies, that only really applies every once in a while. If I'm sitting down to stream something while I'm eating dinner or while I'm eating lunch, I'm gonna pull up Netflix because I can watch the next episode in a show I'm watching or whatnot. And that does apply to like the Star Wars and the Marvel shows, but I feel like um, they're not kind of. It's almost a little too much with the Marvel. I feel like we're a little oversaturating with the Marvel TV
I've been
shows.
saying it. Every time I ask Daddy, are we Marvel fatigued? And people always go no. But I almost want to say I beg to differ. I beg to differ on that one. I don't know.
I'm personally Marvel fatigued. I'm not a big Marvel person though, so. But I mean, I'm not Star Wars fatigued. Like I love all the Star Wars stuff we're getting, so maybe I'm biased. But you know, they can give me more. Like I love Andor, and like they can give me whatever Star Wars stuff they want to give me, and I'll eat it all up, and however they want to put it in. It's been great. I loved every Star Wars thing for the most part.
Yeah.
So, like I love all that, but you know, and I get what they're doing with Marvel because they're really trying to build on the cinematic universe for each kind of like saga, right? Like we
Yeah.
have we have
Phase
the
4.
multiverse saga. We're going to the next phase, so like all these extra characters, it like really helps. But then it gets like really overwhelming for people that like aren't caught up, and like then there's like I literally didn't see Multiverse of Madness in theaters because I hadn't watched all the Disney Plus stuff, so I felt like I couldn't watch it. And so like that was a missed ticket sale for me because I'm like I haven't seen all the stuff, I can't watch it. So like, and I know people feel that way too. So they're like, oh, I'll watch it eventually when I can watch everything and catch up to it.
Yeah. For Marvel, I think Disney looked at it as like this infinite engine of content, and it's very apparent. It's very, I think it's really cool in the long run. All the kids that are like 5 years old, by the time they get to 20, imagine the Marvel product. It's going to be insane. Like the catalog that's going to be out there, it's going to be insane. Melissa says, "Did you hear Magic Key Terrace has a new menu?" I did hear, and I will not be going. I'm okay. The Five Fires YouTube channel will not be going to the Magic Key Terrace. I will go to Lamplight, but not Magic Key Terrace.
Maybe I'll go there eventually, but I don't feel like trying a million times to try to get in there. In like the five tables that are available up there.
Mondo Danny, build Disneyland new Tomorrowland. What stays would go? Oh man, that's too much. Too much, my friend. For me personally, everything would go except Space Mountain. That would be my beginning point. Clay says we got Clay with 12 months of membership. What's up, Clay? Happy Sunday, my friend. Mondo Danny, thanks for another amazing Sunday. Danny, will you be streaming in Walt Disney World? Mondo, any hints about your IG post on commercial property? I haven't looked. I did ask that question. I haven't looked yet, though, but I hope somebody did respond. I hope I have some real estate people that follow me. It'd be cool to pick their brains on some ideas I have. But Danny, any content or anything coming, or just kind of follow you on Instagram?
If there is anything, it's on Twitter or Instagram. Usually, I definitely will. I'm sure make some YouTube videos out of the experience. Definitely on Epcot's 40th, which will be Saturday next weekend. I don't know how many videos I'm gonna do. Maybe I document like what it's like to be in a hurricane at Disney World because I'll be there. But I'm not a live streamer. I don't live stream. So like I've done it one time or twice maybe, I think, during a show. But that's not like, I don't ever know what to say in a live stream, like where I'm in a theme park just walking around. Like that's more Mondo's thing. He knows how to go on the fly with that. So, but there will be content, of course. Yeah, and we'll talk about it on the podcast and stuff like that. So
I just hope the weather gets better the closer we get to Saturday, because that's the big day, right?
Yeah, Saturday. It's looking like it's gonna be like if the hurricane is like following normal like models, it should be like onto land, because as soon as the hurricane makes landfall, it breaks apart like right away because it's hitting other winds, it's hitting colder weather, it's not above a warm ocean, to keep growing. So it starts to break apart and just turn into rain and a storm.
I can't wait to see your covers though. Epcot it is probably my favorite theme park over there, Walt Disney World. I always battle between Epcot and Hollywood Studios, but I'm gonna say Epcot. Epcot's my favorite. Today's Walk Channel, what's up, dude? Mondo, you were asking on IG if it's worth going to Magic Mountain Fright Fest, and this is today's Walk Channel. Is I would believe anything when it comes down to Six Flags. He is very knowledgeable with Six Flags. If you have the membership or annual pass, yes. But if you're paying full price plus $40 parking, what? $40 parking? Way too expensive for less. All right. Thank you, today's Walk Channel. I was thinking of going to Fright Fest because I have an annual pass and just do the opening ceremony. And I think that would be good enough for me. I feel like it's a really cool opening ceremony they do. Let me see. I'm just reading through the comments. Gentleman Disney says, did you talk about live streaming not being allowed at Tokyo Disney? That hasn't been allowed, period. I've said it before. They've been strict about that for a long time.
Yeah, they don't allow photography or video recording of any kind on any rides, and they're very strict on it. And it's been like that for as long as I can remember.
Whenever Chris went a long time ago, which I feel like that's like 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been on that a long time.
I feel like they probably just changed the rule to include live streaming, but it always was photography or video recording. Like they don't, like I know that you see a lot of ride-throughs of Tokyo Disney attractions. You don't see a lot of them, but you do see some of them. I don't know how those people got ride-throughs, but technically the rules say you can't film on the ride. Like kind of how like Soarin' says you're not allowed to videotape Soarin', but there's still ride-throughs of Soarin'. So same thing.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the Disney rules in Tokyo and stuff like that, but I've known that they have not allowed that recordings or live stream for a long time. That's my take on that. But that's it, Danny. Closing thoughts, my friend. Closing thoughts.
I'm excited for the rest of October, honestly. I was one of the lucky few that got a Scary Farm pass. So I hope I get to go with Mondo at least one day. I know you're going to be going maybe while I'm gone, but hopefully you can get another ticket somehow and we can go on like a Thursday or a Friday or something.
I would love to go with you, Danny. I'll buy a ticket to go with you, my friend.
And then I want to go to HHN one more time if I can. So got to figure that out. Because I had a lot of fun, and I'd like to do the Terror Tram and experience some of the mazes again for a second time.
Heck yeah. I'm excited. My closing thoughts, not Scary Farm. I can't wait to be back. I really want to focus on scare zones and shows. That's kind of, and then the foods. I really feel like that, and I want to vlog it. I would like to go to Scary Farm and do a vlog. I haven't done it yet. I was doing it, but I did a live stream. Shout out to my best friend Timbo. He just didn't bring his reading glasses, so I had to take over the live because the comments were coming fast and furious. And Timmy was like, "I can't do it, Mondo." But I will be back at Not Scary Farm, hopefully like 1 or 2 times. I'll be back at Horror Nights, and most importantly, I am really missing Disneyland. I can't wait to be back at Disneyland and having fun out there. And the fact that Fantasmic is still going, I'm going to take advantage because I really miss Fantasmic. And it's only on the weekends now. So I definitely want to make my way out there and see that. But thank you, everybody, so much for joining another episode here on Speculation Sunday. Big thank you to Danny. Can we all give Danny 5 fires and good luck in his Florida trip? And I can't wait to see all your coverage, Danny. It's going to be a lot of fun, my friend.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
All right, everybody, do not forget to smash that like button on the way out. And thank you for supporting the fire. We are firing it down. The Cali Bay, just as Danny are calling it a day. I'm the main host, Mondo.